Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
And hello and welcome to episode 150 of On the Bench, a podcast for scale modelers, by scale modelers, all about scale models. And this episode is being brought to you by our latest and newest Patreon supporter, Shaif, also known as a mediocre middle-aged modeler. You too can help support the show by going to www.patreon.com/on the bench and pledge any amount from as little as $1 per month. Your contributions help us with our production and hosting costs and are greatly appreciated by all of us. And of course, a great big thank you to all of those Patreons who are continuing to support us. And hello and welcome to the show. And in the studio I have with me Ian.
G'day Dave, g'day Julian, g'day listeners.
And of course we've got Julian as well.
Morning.
How are we, gentlemen?
Yeah, getting there. Had a bit of a cold last week, which I'm just getting over. So, you know, this weather we're having at the moment is just so up and down, and just it's bound to happen.
I don't think the weather's up and down. I think it's just down.
It's garbage, isn't it?
Gosh, the rain we've had.
It is absolute garbage.
Yeah, we'll leave that alone. Let's talk about some happy stuff, modelling. What have you been doing?
Well, I had planned to get a lot of modelling done last weekend, but I've pretty much spent that on the couch just watching Netflix because I was feeling pretty crappy. But I have been buying kits. You know, if you can't build, buy.
Yep.
Yeah, but when you're building, you're also buying.
Yeah, that too. The problem is you go do some research on the computer, and before you know it, you're at B&A or another one of those websites, and you're going, oh, that looks interesting. So since last time, well, I think we all know I picked up a Spitfire early Mark 9 Edward kit at the Waverley Interclub.
Yep.
So I had to get a Edward Spitfire Mark 9 late version.
Of course
And
you did.
then I also purchased a Edward Spitfire Mark 16 bubble top. And this week I got in my hands the Hasegawa Key 43-2 Hayabusa Oscar.
Cool.
And late this week I came home and found this battered box on the doorstep. All the way from Ukraine.
Whoa.
So my Dora Wings Volti Vengeance has arrived.
Excellent.
The outer box is a bit battered, but considering where it's come from, it's quite understandable.
Yeah.
I'm happy I've got it. And yeah, it's a very nice looking kit.
I did go through the box, and
There's lots in there, isn't there?
yeah, it's very high parts count by lots of it, and lots of it photo etch.
Yeah, there's a fair bit of photo etch too, which is quite nice.
Yeah, having built a Dora, one of the earlier kits, that wasn't so heavy on the photo etch. But then again, there's no surviving examples of those planes. The ones that I built.
Oh, the Marcel Bloch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing with the weird engine that's canted to one side.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I was that impressed. I'm actually probably considering maybe this weekend getting back on their website and ordering the new Curtis Wright CW21B lightweight interceptor.
I actually
Which
wanted
looks pretty cool.
to get is it 18.9 Jeep?
Oh, yeah,
The little twin engine.
Yeah, little
plane.
transport aircraft, yeah.
Yeah, that thing is so, what's that? Like golden age of aviation kind of thing, you know?
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, totally agree.
Like very Howard Hughes era kind of. Lots of polished aluminium, smooth shapes.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Very cool. So what about you, Julian? What have you been doing?
I have been scratch building a little bit on the engine of the Falcon.
Oh, yes.
Yep. So what I did is I drilled like some holes and I bent some brass rod that I had lying around to create some like piping and things like that.
Cool.
Yeah. Put some little angled, sort of had them sort of like several pipes sort of converge alongside each other kind of thing, and then go down into these holes that I drilled down.
Oh, very cool.
And then I stuck on my little oil cooler thing that I purchased, and I haven't added too much more. I mean, I sort of dug into a kit that I decided I wanted to throw away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so I pilfered some bits off that and stuck them on. Yeah, so it's coming along. I could probably just paint it now, but after that, I'm sort of in my brain. I'm sort of hesitating on how to go any further because I'm like, do I paint this engine up completely, then install it? Because you need to install it before you close the top and bottom halves of the fuselage. And then do I then mask it, or should I just glue it all in and then paint it later somehow? Because it sort of slips underneath, it sort of disappears into the rear part of the fuselage.
Yep.
And I don't want to be poking in there with a brush.
No.
That's a pain in the ass.
Do the easiest way around, mate. That's why, just whatever you think's going to be the easiest, go that way.
I think I might have to paint it first.
Yep.
And then when it comes to painting, like how much of that do I want to? Because generally speaking, the engine on this thing is mostly sort of a dark steel thing, but I could add some color to it.
A bit of brass.
Well, maybe not some brass, but I mean, I was thinking. Well, I mean, you could do some very small, like metallic changes. Like mostly black, but got some more silvery sort of tubing and things like whatever else like that. But I could also do something along the lines of like hazard striping.
Yep.
I could do something like that.
Yeah, that'd look pretty cool. Bit of that yellow and black.
Yeah, maybe.
Angle. Yeah,
it depends on like how you use it and how tasteful you want to be about it.
Yeah,
because it is supposed to be a military aircraft, and you don't really have anything too flashy on the other side of a landing
that hazard
vehicle.
stuff's more construction, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe just some warnings, some red bands or something.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
It's the other thing.
Food for thought. And then I've got to paint up the interior and then close it up. Those are my concerns at the moment.
And what colour are you going for the interior?
Well, the interior, the colour call-outs in the instructions calls for RLM 66, very Luftwaffe inspired cockpit. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure how chipped if I want to do some chips or not. I feel like I should, but I'm not really...
Depends how weathered the outside is too.
Yeah. Something for thought. I could also go for like a leathery looking seat, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, leather's fun. I like painting.
It's got like these sort of quilted, sort of padded sidewalls on the inside of the cockpit. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure what I want to do about that. I'll probably just airbrush.
If you do that in leather, it'll look like a sex dungeon.
Or one of those like Moran couches, Either way, it's
bit of mood lighting.
Well, I mean, like I think there's, isn't it on like the A4? I think on the A4 that I never finished. That's got some padding on the inside in some small pokey sort of areas.
Yeah, I know the was it the B-26 Marauders had padding?
Yeah.
Well,
I think it's
padding.
I think they generally have like light coloured sort of.
Yeah, it's usually pretty much the same colour as the interior.
Interesting. Food for thought.
Yes. Yeah, that's the other thing I purchased too.
What's that?
I've got a couple of Edward sets from my one of my Edward Zeros. So I got myself one of the engine sets, which is it's so nice, so nice, and an Edward Look Plus, which comes with resin seats, resin wheels. What else did it come with? One of those new Look pre-painted, already built up instrument panels.
Oh yeah.
So and inside and outside masks, and picked up a couple of Barracuda cast.
Yep.
Interior sets for some of your Spitfires.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Other thing that's been on my mind is that since I'm playing I mentioned in the past that I was going to buy this game called Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, I tried. Yeah, I couldn't play that because my computer keyboard was just too dinky.
This is a different game. Unless you played it on your own.
Yeah.
Or something, but I never introduced this game to you. In any case, I've been playing that again, and it's got some really nice cars in it, and I've been looking to see, like, has anyone put out some STL files of these cars that I could potentially print in the near future?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a couple out there. I mean, they're not cheap, but, you know, I'm very sort of in the headspace of this game, so...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah, I mean, like, they are good car design. They've put a lot of thought into them, and there's a lot of sort of the technology and sort of, you know, they fit into the theme of this game. And like, for example, the doors, when they open on these cars, they pop out and then they slide away on rails.
Oh yeah,
to the rear.
Yep.
And then same when they come in and close, and with some of them the windscreen is opaque from the outside. Mm-hmm. But then when you get in and turn it on, it goes from opaque to clear on the inside.
Yes.
It's quite interesting.
Yeah. Plus, they usually got some really cool colours and stuff like that. You can just go nuts.
Oh, yeah. Well, one of them is painted up like the General Lee.
Oh, even better.
In orange with the numbers on the side. So
one on the side.
They've got some pop culture references in there too.
Very good.
They've also got one that's... as soon as I got it, because I was sort of playing along the game, and I got given this car, and it looks like the car from Bullet. It looks like a Mustang that's in green, you know.
Yeah.
I thought that was a nice nod to a good car movie.
Definitely. Right, you, Dave?
Oh man, I've been busy with work,
Crushed by work,
by work, drowned by the floodwaters currently affecting Victoria.
And other states.
Yeah, more so, not as bad in New South Wales, but certainly it's only a Northern Victoria event. And, I've 3 deployments now. Mm-hmm. Luckily this week I'm back this weekend, so we're able to recording today, which is cool. Mm-hmm. And next weekend I've got locked away as an annual leave, so I can't sort of be recalled, which is good because you and
we're going off to
Canberra
to Scale ACT,
which is on the 5th and 6th of November at the High School Killeen, 108 Baldwin Drive, Killeen, ACT. For online registration, more information, you need to visit www.actsms.asn.au // I should say, Scale ACT. And the important thing is you need to register before your kits before you get there, because
we better get into that today.
There's no at the door registration of models. You've actually got to do it all electronically before you get there.
No, that's easily done.
So I've got...
Just send me the link and I'll get onto it today.
Send you the link?
Yeah.
So I've got to get onto that and figure out what I'm going to take up there. I've got to tear down all our... not tear down our recording equipment. I've got to get all our mobile recording equipment all set up and packed away, because we're actually leaving on Friday at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Yep. Early start.
Because we're going straight to... Traylor, which is the overflow storage warehouse place for Australian War Memorial. So it's all the stuff that's actually not on display.
Yep.
And
I'm pretty sure they got a Beaufort in there too.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff in there. Got a V2 in there.
Well, since I'm not going, you'll be able to fit more kits in the car.
That's right.
Well, no, because I've got the recording equipment plus what we're taking up there to enter. So it's going to be... Well, we'll see.
Well, are you saying that if I had gone, you wouldn't bring the recording equipment?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Wow.
Would have made the room.
So I'm really excited about this because I'm really intrigued by how they do their judging and everything. And also, you and I have been invited out to their dinner at a big Chinese restaurant.
Oh, have we?
Yeah, so...
Oh, even better.
It's going to be cool as well. I don't know whether it's a Friday night or the Saturday night. I think it might be one of those. Anyway, we're going to be well looked after and well fed by the boys up there in the ACT, so really excited. Of course, we're going to be recording up there, so we're bringing all that stuff back for our next episode.
Exactly.
So, Chinese restaurant, how's your chopsticks, Dave?
Oh, my chopsticks are good.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah?
I'm going to tell you a funny story. Back in the day when I was in Marine Rescue, and we were still in fairly good relations with China. This big Chinese delegation came out, and we went to like little China in Melbourne, like little
Chinatown.
Chinatown,
yeah. Anyway, so this big honcho from China and his wife was there, and we went upstairs and it had a big banquet table. And his wife and she sort of yelling orders to all the waiters and everything, and they're running backwards and forwards, and and they put chopsticks and everything out. And he turns around and he goes and he whistles over the waiter, and the waiter goes dashing off and comes back with a spoon. And I said, "What's with the spoon?" He goes, "Oh, I've never been able to use chopsticks."
He's Chinese.
He's Chinese, so he uses a spoon. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
I actually managed to get a couple of purchases.
Oh,
What the heck has gone on there?
I don't know.
Oh,
You're back again.
No, I'm back again.
You just disappeared there
I
for a
know,
second.
it was bizarre. I got a couple of purchases in while I was away. I bought a Chinese version of the V2 rocket, which I suspect that Kentucky David has already built, and that's what got me onto it. And also bought a DF-41, which is a great big, huge ballistic missile launcher.
I think Julian said it the best. It looks like a caterpillar.
That's kind of...
There's all those wheels.
Yeah, it really does. It's just a very long vehicle.
Yeah,
with like lots of little tiny
and
wheels.
it's 72nd scale. It's massive.
Yeah, I know. And
you know what it looks like? It looks like a vehicle that's been built to be a cigar tube.
Yeah. Yes.
And I haven't had any time to sit on the bench because whatever days off I've had, I've just been exhausted and like you just plonked in front of the TV and just caught up with all the shows and everything, and I just exhausted, mentally exhausted, and I just can't bring myself to sit in front of on the bench. Although I did do a little bit of work on my Hawk, where I just did a little bit more painting and everything. So that's
cool.
That's ready for weathering and final assembly now. So and decals first, then assembly, then weathering.
Yep. Very good.
Yeah, so I've got to get that done. That's pretty much me, really. Shall we? We're going to talk about what this episode means. We haven't got any special guests. We haven't got a theme or anything like that. But this is our 150th episode.
Woohoo! We've lasted this long.
Well, surprisingly, and I thought it's just interesting just to note that up until today, so far we're just shy of 500,000 downloads, which is not too bad.
That's not too bad.
Shabby at all. And I thought we might later on just talk about some of the highlights of our show, some of the ones that we remember, some of our interesting interviews, some of our interesting shows. That might be a good way to sort of round it out today.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, what I think
A clip show.
Yeah, except we're not doing outtakes. We'll just look through and have a chat about it. But in the meantime, I think maybe we should have a quick break, have a listen from our sponsor SMS, and we'll be back very shortly. The Scale Model Supply is a family-owned and operated company, certified 100% Australian-made, that specialises in airbrush-ready paints for scale modelling. Established back in 2016, they continue to set the bar high when it comes to their paints, constantly tweaking and improving the formulas regularly to ensure you get the absolute best products for your hobby. So when quality matters, choose SMS Paints. To check out the full range, go to their website www.scalemodeler.com.au. Okay, we're back, and we have a huge amount of mail to get through. But first of all, I actually got a letter through the old snail mail system from Dave Lockhart, who is the IPMS USA president. And thank you very much, Dave, for sending through what you did. And he writes, hope this note finds you, Ian, Dave, Julian, well. Great meeting you all in Omaha. Here are some stickers and an official IPMS USA membership card.
Yeah,
they might get you, they might get you all a free drink at a local pub.
Well, we can always hope.
Yeah, so thanks very much for that, David. So now we can say that we are official card-carrying IPMS members.
Yes, we are.
Card carrying.
We are. We'll get a card to carry.
Yeah, I know.
We're card carriers.
Hey, mate, hey, see if we can get some 5% discount local hobby shop.
You can try that this afternoon and see if it goes.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to get any wind under that sail, but anyway.
No.
All right, shall we dive into...
Yeah, let's stuck into some mail, I reckon.
There's a whole heap. First one we got is from Adam Gray. And he writes in, "G'day benchers, I have been seeing some Aussie 1/24th scale plastic model kits on the local model shop websites. They seem to be variants of the Holden HQ sedans and panel vans.
Correct.
Any chance you can interview the company behind them and what their future plans may be? It looks like they're called DDA Collectibles and have also been doing die-cast cars for a number of years now, branching out into plastic kits."
Be worth a chat.
It would be
Definitely worth a chat.
and I do need to follow up on that. That is very exciting, particularly if you're from Australia or New Zealand, because you'll be very well acquainted with Holden HQs,
Oh, yeah.
sedans, and panel vans.
Definitely. Most definitely.
Jamie Stokes writes in, "G'day benchers, great episode 149. Chris is a champion of the modelling community."
That he is, yes.
But he'd be the first to deny it. Yes, he would. As for Julian's Falk, if he thinks of it as an MAK version of an A10 Warthog, that may cover how it's both a flying tank and an armoured fighter.
I get you.
That means it's titanium skin over vulnerable bits like fuel, some engine parts, and the soft pink squishy thing known as a pilot. Other less vulnerable parts would have some sheet metal parts like the upper access hatches for checking the blinker fluid. That's cheers from Jamie Stokes, South Australia Modelling Club. And shout out to Jamie, they had a fantastic show last couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw some photos. Some very nice work.
Yeah, that's on our calendar for next year, Jamie.
It sure is.
So we're coming over.
So be warned.
Next one comes from Craig Everson. "Hi guys, hope you're all keeping safe with all this bad weather. I'm going to my first show at Scale ACT in November. We'll be meeting you there, Craig, so come over and say g'day.
Yeah.
And was wondering about a build book for my diorama that I'm taking. What should I put in it for the judges consider? Thanks for any help you can give. Kind regards, Craig Everson."
Okay. Build book. Well, usually, when I do a build book, I usually break it down to the kit. But I always chuck on like a little brief bit of history. I know no one reads it, but it's always handy to have in there. Construction. So basically any notes, any changes, any difficult bits you came through. Construction, then I usually go on to painting and detailing. What paints I used, what method I used to paint it, what scheme I chose, and then I usually finally go into weathering and finishing. So basically, it's just writing down how you built the thing.
Yeah.
Handy also if you have some in-build photos, throw a few in-build photos in there. Gives the judges something to go, oh yeah, that's what it looked like before.
Yeah, I would go less on the text and more heavy on the photos. Because I mean, there's never enough judges. There's never enough judges, and they got to get through that as quickly as possible because you're just one model in a sea of other models.
Yeah, that's true.
And chances are you're going to have more than one model of your own at that show. So keep it as short and sweet and as effective as possible. Go heavy on the images. Have them annotated if you have to. Put your text in dot points.
Yes, that's one thing. Yes, dot point.
Right. Even if that's not the entire thing, just make sure you have some dot points in there so that you hit them with the information they need as fast as possible.
Or you could go the complete other extreme and go
write an essay.
Or write an essay and go to the printer and produce your own coffee table book of how you actually built the model. Now, I can't think of anybody who would have done that in the past.
No.
No, Sam Dwyer.
No person who we've had on the show a few times. Which was a book you'd probably even purchase for yourself. It was that well done.
It was.
It was a beautiful book.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just a few things to think of, Craig.
Yep. And Craig also has the handle of Aussie Scale Modelers on Facebook and Instagram. So maybe just drop past and say g'day. And we'll see you, Craig, next weekend.
We will.
And don't forget to pre-register your models for that event.
Yes.
100%. Dave Waples, our good shipbuilding friend from the US, writes in, I've got a beauty. Oh, good on
Oh,
you.
shelf queens. I was talking about shelf queens.
I started the Revell 1700 scale Colombo Express container ship about 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I was totally dissatisfied with the kit containers and anything on the market. So I jumped down a dangerous rabbit hole and started an adventure to build 2,800 individual containers.
Oh, my.
At 1700 scale. What I ended up doing was buying Estar photo etch containers, folding them and filling them with resin so they were solid. I then created molds enough to do all the containers. I think I had about 10 masters in total. The rub is that every one of these containers has a pour block on the bottom, and my solution for removing them was to use a milling machine. Oh my God. To use a milling machine to shave them all flat and have them the same size. After all that, I needed to stack them and they needed to be uniform. I have a great video of that somewhere. At the end of the day, it's turned into the biggest rabbit hole ever. It's a huge black cloud hanging over my head, as well as an albatross around your neck. Get the
Boom,
naval
boom.
thing there?
Yes.
And my friends in our model ship club give me no mercy about it. The only way out of this is to finish it, and I'm finding it hard to just do it. If I would ever do it again, I would gladly pay someone to draw up all the containers in CAD and 3D print them as container stacks.
Yeah, you do want to do it. Yeah, you don't want to do them individually. You want to do them like in maybe blocks of 20 or so.
But we didn't have 3D printers when I entered the rabbit hole. I still may go down that route, as the containers are not exactly perfect, so there's some minor variation between them. That's my sad story to share with you all and the listeners.
Well, that's a heck of a job doing all those containers.
That's a funny story, man. Oh, jeez. David writes in with a second email as well, just to let us know that he's working with a decal manufacturer to come up with the anti-slip pads for model ships.
Ooh.
I'm looking for some input from you on what you would like to see if you were attaching these to your model. For now, anybody who doesn't know ships, hasn't built ships before, generally on the main deck, you get decals that are anti-slip decals, or to represent the anti-slip pads that you saw on
for your walkways.
Yeah, particularly modern warships, and also World War II US destroyers had them. I don't know. I can't think of any anti-slip walkways that are actually done for modern Australian ships, and I'm thinking that OH&S wasn't such a big deal for us back in World War II, so we didn't have any back then. But I'm happy to stand corrected. I'm just thinking of 'cause I've been on HMS Vampire, and that's on display in Sydney, and of course there's a lot of our Bathurst class, couple of them floating around, Bathurst class
Minesweepers.
Corvettes hanging around, and I've been on them, and none of them have anti-slip. So I'm a little bit mystified, David, as to how we can perhaps provide anybody out there who builds Australian or indeed any warships and would like to sort of comment, please send this on to us, or and we'll pass it on to David the comments that you want to share.
So I know with especially Dragon, with their 1/350 scale US destroyers, you get decals.
Yes, and that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, and look, they're far from perfect.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, Dave, we'll let you know what feedback we get.
Yeah,
we hear from
definitely.
Mark Dormus writes in. What's his guy saying here?
I think it might be Doremus.
All right. Well, I'll go with that as well. Do you want to read the letter out while you're there, Julian?
No, I'm good.
Sure. You chimed in there just over my shoulder.
Oh, he might object to how you're pronouncing his name.
Okay, so he sent us some pictures of a kit that he's finished building, which is Revell's ancient 1/72 scale SPAD
I think it's a
13.
13.
Yep.
And he has done an excellent job on what is a you'd have to say it's one of the worst kits you could probably do if you're going to do in 72nd scale as a biplane. I mean, A, it's ancient, and B, it's small.
It's so tiny, isn't it? Yeah.
But he's done a fantastic job, and he's even done the rigging and everything with it. He also goes on to say that his local IPMS president, which he's in Seattle, is a semi-pro builder, and he does kit reviews on a I can't get that word out. Prodigious basis. His pat answer when he's saying how long it takes to build a kit is 30 hours over about 60 days. And on another note, Mark is saying that he's visiting Australia's Sydney, particularly Manly area, early next month. Any good hints on shops to visit or modelling events on the 31st to the 5th of November? October 35th. Well, no. The answer to that is I don't know any good model shops over there.
Hobbyco.
Sorry. Yes, where are they?
I think they're on George Street. I'm pretty sure. Well, last time I was in Sydney was probably about 20 years ago. I think they were in George Street.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Mark, you're just going to miss out on Scale ACT, which also starts on the 5th of November, and it's only about, 4 hours drive from where you'd be in Manly.
Or a 40-minute flight.
Yeah. So, I'll close out with a shout-out to my favourite Australian modelling buddy, Damien Reg Rigby. We know Damien.
Yeah, funny thing about Damien, I only found out this week. Apparently he popped into my work while I was out doing a run. I only found out about it this week.
Did he really?
Yeah, he left a card by me.
Yeah,
one of the guys says, I found this on my desk. That's right, he popped in to say good day to you. Thanks for telling me now.
Mark says, I should say something snarky about Chevs here, but I'll just leave the beauty of the moment right there. So, thanks for that, Mark, and I hope you enjoy your trip to Manly and
Sydney.
Yeah, be careful swimming out in the water there.
Yeah.
Lots of sharks to
Well, no, I wouldn't worry about the sharks, Tim. I'm worried about the blue ring octopus. Those little buggers, they're tiny, and they'll kill you.
Phil Abraham writes in, hi guys, g'day from a wandering Pom. Got on your podcast on a 3,000 kilometre drive from the UK to Crete. Wow, we went through France, Belgium, Germany, Austria, Hungary, Serbia, Bulgaria, Greece. And I'm loving the informality of your podcast and the great content and guests. I'm both a gamer and a modeller, trying to focus on the 135th D-Day British armour, including Percy's Hobart Funnies. Well, you should get in touch with Chris, because Chris Meddings loves all that sort of stuff
right
as well.
into that, yeah.
I'm also into 172nd scale firefighting aircraft, mainly conversions, and 148 aircraft, some iconic, but mainly ones seen at air shows or air museums. Apparently he went to the Pima and the Boneyard 4 years ago.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And he's also builds or has every Airfix kit that was ever done in 124th scale.
Ooh.
Also lots of 72nd armour for gaming, so plenty to play with on the long, dark winter nights. I'll be listening to more as I reverse the journey and drive back to the UK at the end of October. Keep up the great work. Cheers, Phil. Well, Phil, this episode will be just in time for your drive back.
It will, yeah, definitely.
Well, it's nice to hear from a new listener, isn't it?
Yeah. Building all those 124 scale kits, you must have a fair bit of room.
Yeah. That weirdo Brad Belsham writes in, and he's just posting pictures of the VT-1-2, which is that strange German tank, and
with the twin guns.
Yeah. Obviously, he's enamoured with it and just likes showing off.
All right. It's coming up quite nice. Interesting with the grey and the green camo.
Yeah, it is. Okay, Brad, you've had your 1 minute on the podcast. See you later.
That's just giving a poor old Brad.
No, actually, he's a really good mate, and we had a great time when we hooked up with him in Omaha, didn't we?
Oh, did we ever? Very funny guy.
Jonathan Byron writes in.
In defence of the spare parts box.
Yes. Hello, OTB. Continuing to love listening to OTB and was particularly entertained with the interview with Chris Meddings on the last episode. Had me laughing out loud in my jog. But I feel I must write in the defence of the spares box. Whilst Julian might think it's a waste of time, and Ian, or was it Dave or Chris, think it's a waste of space.
I think it was Chris and myself with basically it's a waste of space.
Well, I regard it as indispensable, says Jonathan. I make 148 scale aircraft, and the last 10 I've made, 7 could not have been completed without using leftover parts from previous kits. And they've proved essential on my current build as well. The majority of the kits I make need extra parts to match the real thing. And it's not just the crappy kits. It's a mere 148 scale F4B I intend to make next year will also need some bits from the spares box. Viva la spares box! In all seriousness, I've found storage containers for electrical components to be a very efficient way of sorting and storing all the parts I've collected over the years. Populating them with fresh parts when I start a new kit is one of life's simple pleasures. It's all the best from John Byron. Brian.
No, it's John Bryan,
John Bryan.
not Byron.
Did I write Byron before?
Yeah.
Because you see the Y and you think Byron.
Yeah.
This is the thing. He corrects me at the end of the email, so he knows I got it wrong at the beginning.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Thanks, mate. All right. I challenge you to pronounce that name then, Smarty.
Andrew Nankerville.
That's right, Mr. Nankerville. I'll go with that. Hi, Davey and Julian. Your chipper ray of sunshine, you. I still love the show. Your recent discussion with Link regarding retail markups in Australia provoked a question for which you may or may not be able to answer. I'm fascinated by the Mac figure kits after listening to your podcast over the years, so I inquired around a few of my friendly local hobby stores to ask if they could get any in. A couple of the store owners I spoke to have tried ordering them before, but the importer, whom I won't name in the interest of being impartial, has never had any in stock, and they only get a certain amount of pre-orders, which are usually either sold out before they get there or reallocate to other retailers who want the extra shelf stock. This all seems a bit fishy to me, that a business would give themselves a bad reputation by doing that. My Mac figure story did eventually have a happy ending. Currently sitting in my build pile is a raccoon armoured suit, which I reluctantly ordered online. Keep up the good work. Andrew in Adelaide.
Well,
After sort of going and looking into it a little bit, you know, there's various things you could say, but just buy elsewhere. That's all there is to it. Just
I think what Link say, just go through the Japanese.
Yeah, just go through
stores.
Japan. You know,
You're paying a lot less.
Oh, it's funny because after Link was on the show, I was actually looking around for some kits, and like Andrew, I do like to support our local.
Yeah, as we all do. Yeah,
but the prices in my local shop were at least double.
Yep.
What I could purchase from Japan and have arrive at my doorstep, even with postage.
Mm.
You can't beat the likes
double would be cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be more than double.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't think of the actual kit, but there was one kit in the shop that was going for $200 Australian in the bricks and mortar shop, and if I had have ordered it online from Japan on my doorstep, it would have worked out about $85 Australian.
Yep.
It just, if anything to do with MAK, you're just better off hunting around either on eBay. I mean, by all means, give your local retailer a crack. But if you can't get any joy there, like the boys are saying, go directly to the source. Go to Japan.
Yeah, go to Japan. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think you need to vote with your dollar.
And you can't beat the prices over there.
Yeah.
It's so cheap. And importing the mail, obviously, I shouldn't say it's allowed because it'll probably change. But the postage isn't that expensive from Japan.
No.
at the moment.
No, it's very reasonable.
It's unlike sending something from Australia or the US or the UK.
Yeah, that's because the Japanese currency is in the toilet at the moment.
No, it's not that bad, is it?
That's what I've been hearing from
Yeah,
the
well,
people living in Japan.
Really? You want to see the Australian dollar at the moment?
Yeah, well, that's because they say this particular currency is down, but they're saying it's down versus the American currency. Is what they're saying. Canadian currency's in the toilet.
Yep.
Ours is in the toilet.
Yep.
Japan's in the toilet.
Yep. All right, I hope that works out for you, mate. So definitely
that's our suggestion anyway.
Okay, next one. Hey guys, my name is Dow Busby, and I'm from Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yes, you got that right, Dave, because it's only three syllables.
No, I've got that song going through my head now.
What?
Tennessee whiskey.
Okay, don't sing anything. Please don't sing. I do not want you to sing.
Well, I could.
No, stop. Stop.
That is such a good song.
It's time to stop, all right?
Okay.
All right.
People don't come to this podcast to hear you sing, all right?
Well, how do you know? Are you a music aficionado? I'll have you know, I used to tread the boards. I was in the Mikado. I played the Mikado in the Mikado, Gilbert and Sullivan. And
you sing a whole bunch of words. It means nothing to me.
That's because you're a Luddite. And I also...
Not Luddite at all. What are you talking about?
And I was also in the Pirates of Penzance. And I played the Modern Major General in that.
Yeah, well, you got to admit, nearly anyone can get into those grade 1 school.
Oh, no, that's being a bit harsh. Anyway, let's see what Mr. Dow Busby has to say.
Yep.
I have been modelling for about 2 years and have been listening to your show for as long. It has brought me many, many hours of entertainment while on the bench and driving. I really enjoy all types of models and have included a couple of pics of my recent builds. I'm currently working on Bandai's 160th PG RX-0 Unicorn Gundam Perfectibility along with Bandai's LED kits.
That sounds like a big kit.
Sounds like a big kit.
It is a big kit, yeah.
I'm having a blast with the kit and about 80% done. My question to you guys is whether or not you have any experience with weathering Gundams. Yes, I do.
Oh, so do I.
If so, any advice? I started weathering regular kits like armour and planes, but don't feel that I'm very good at it. To be totally honest, I have no idea where to start with in this Gundam. Maybe I shouldn't even weather it at all. I have looked on YouTube, but haven't really found the inspiration I've been looking for. Keep up the good work, guys, and hope to hear from you soon.
Well, as someone who has not weathered a Gundam, I would suggest you look into that Starship Filth oil paint type stuff.
Because they're all space, aren't they?
Yeah,
I mean, you don't get many Gundams that are on the ground, so you can't really do much ground type weathering.
Yeah,
Earth effects and so forth. It's all going to be like spacey. Maybe a few blast marks or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what sort of the Starship Filth color is supposed to represent. It's supposed to represent like carbon and blast marks.
Yeah,
and
like I did with that original Musaru Cup build I had to do, the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say chase down that lead is what I would say, because I mean you've got some photos here and we can see it's white, and that goes hand in hand with the Starship Filth stuff, which is designed for Star Wars things for the most part.
That's a good idea. Have a look at some photos of some of the Star Wars vehicles and craft like the Millennium Falcon and the X-Wings, and see how they're weathered and try and bring that into your Gundam build.
I'd take a step further than that, and I'd say go and check out the Mike Rinaldi how-to videos on YouTube. They are excellent.
He does a lot of Gundam as well.
He does a lot of Gundam as well, and his videos are set in such a way that you actually set yourself up on the bench and you play the video, and you can actually do it along at the same time as he's doing it.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's one of the best teaching methods I've seen on YouTube in a long time. Mike really does that well.
Oh, there you go.
Just Google Mike Rinaldi, and he's infamous with his tank art books that he does.
Yes, that's right.
So, and I'd highly recommend you check them out and have a look. But yeah, check out his videos. He does them really well, and they gun for about an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. And as I said, you just sit there and you just actually copy along while he does it. You do it at the same time. It's fantastic.
I'm just looking at the photos that he's attached. He's also got a Datsun 240Z there.
I knew that'd catch your eye.
I do want. Can you blow that up?
Do you want me to blow it
Bring
up?
that up, Jamie,
Right.
as Joe Rogan would say. I see you. Yes, that'd be the new kit from Tamiya, and he's done it in white.
Which is a darn hard shade to paint.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because white isn't a colour, it's a shade.
Yes.
Okay.
Just saying. Just teaching the stuff that I know. I know things.
Well done. I still yet to start mine. I should at some point, but I kind of want to wait for aftermarket to put on it.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that, Dow, and I'm really keen to find out how you get the name Dow Busby. That I'm intrigued by that.
You are?
Yeah, what a cool name. Dow Busby, modeler extraordinaire.
It definitely almost sounds like a superhero name, doesn't it?
It does. All right. And finally, Aaron Skinner sent us an email. And he says, "Hi, Dave. I thought this might be of interest to you guys and the On The Bench listeners. As part of its mission to champion and support the scale model hobby, Fine Scale Modeler is proud to announce the celebration of Build a Model Month this November. In conjunction with the celebration, Fine Scale Modeler is encouraging modelers to build a kit with someone new to the hobby, whether it's individually or part of a club event. We invite modelers to tell us their stories so we can share them with the larger community via our website, social media, and in the pages of the magazine. We will also host an online model contest in November with a cash prize and a cover story for the winner.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you for all your time supporting scale modelling through your clubs and building the amazing models that you do, as we see in the pages of Fine Scale Model and other publications. Okay, so I think we might have a quick break and we'll come back with news that the Falcon has sent in as to what's happening in the model world. So back very shortly. Whether you build aircraft, armour, ships, science fiction, cars or figures, the Fine Scale Modeler magazine provides the how-to information you need to take your modelling to the next level. In each issue of Fine Scale Modeler, you'll find clear how-to features on model assembly and finishing written by experts, reviews of the hottest model kits and products, tips and techniques for assembling, painting and finishing, as well as inspiring photos of readers' models. To find out how you can get your copy of Fine Scale Modeler, go to www.finescale.com. Okay, we're back, and of course I forgot to mention, if you do want to send us an email, you can send it to onthebench64@gmail.com. We love getting emails from you, and we seem to be getting a whole heap lately, which is really uber cool.
That is good, yes.
All
good
right.
to hear you back.
The Falcon writes in, "Hi Dave, Ian and Julian. The Tamiya Fair returns after a 3-year hiatus. There is a very good chance that Tamiya will have news of a new kit that was supposed to be announced at the All Japan Hobby Show. We don't know if it's an aeroplane, tank, car or ship, or even what scale it will be. We will find out when the fair begins on the 19th of October."
You mean November?
Yeah.
Of November, sorry.
We're going back in time.
Dang
it!
They're going to be thinking, "Oh, Dave, come on! the F-35 was already announced."
Aircraft news. The new 72nd scale kit from Armour Hobby is a Sea Hurricane.
Oh, I was right.
Not all that exciting unless you really want a Sea Hurricane, and then it's very exciting. Yeah.
I think they threw in a few like resin bits. I think they might be 3D printed.
Yeah.
Just the tail bit.
Just the hook.
Yeah. Great news for airliner fans. A new tool, 1/72nd scale Boeing 727-200 is headed our way.
That'd be a decent size, wouldn't it?
Yeah, there will be multiple boxings covering the major operators, it being Air France, Air Italia, United Airlines, Lufthansa, TWA, the United States Air Force, British Airways, and of course everyone's favourite, Pan Am. It will retail at £85.
Ooh.
The only fly in the ointment, and it's a big, dirty, hairy fly at that. The kit is by Mach 2.
Oh, no. Oh.
Coming from Trumpeter in December is a 72nd scale Lockheed U2C Dragon Lady. That'd be cool in 72nd scale.
Still got a huge wingspan.
Yeah, I know. But it'd be-
72nd scale, still a big wingspan.
Clear Prop has shown the first sprue pics of their forthcoming 48 scale Polybakarov,
Polycarpov.
which is the I-16 Type 5. It looks just as nice as their 72nd scale kit. That is not faint praise, as the 72nd scale kit is fantastic.
Yeah, they do a good job, those guys.
ICM have shown box art for the next boxing of their 48 scale Beaufort. The new kit will be the Beaufort Mark 1A tropical version. Apart from the tropical filters, the Mark 1A had a new turret and altered glazing, so it's different enough that you might want to get this kit to go along with your Mark 1. Apparently ICM's 48 Beaufort Mark 1 has been a smash hit in the UK with record sales after the initial release of the 48 scale kits.
Oh, well done.
We'd like to see them do a GAF version for the Australian.
Adapt Beaufort, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so would I. So one thing that I really would love to get my hands on, Adapt Beaufort.
100%. ICM plan to release their 1/35th scale CH-64A Tahi in December 2022. Illyri's 32nd scale Tornado gets its third outing with the release of the Tornado IDS interdiction strike version. There are marking options for 1 German and 3 Italian aircraft, one of which isn't overall grey.
Oh.
Kit features removable engine and support trolley, photo etch parts, rubber tyres, and rubber wing gloves. Should be available as Dave is actually reading this. There you go. It has been assumed for a while, but Edward have confirmed they are upscaling their 72nd scale MiG-15 to 1/48 scale. The boss Edward, Vlad Sulik, talked a little bit about the possibility of further MiG kits from Edward. Seems like a MiG-17 isn't likely, as he's not a fan of the type. The MiG-19 and MiG-23 might be something to look at in the future if there are sufficient funds.
Yeah, what I'd like to see them release is to continue on with their Spitfire series and do some Griffin-powered Spitfires.
The MiG-19 isn't something that's done very often either, so it'd be cool if they did look at that. Edward are planning to release a 48 scale Messerschmitt ME 109G-2 two-seater. Don't hold your breath though, it won't appear until 2024.
That's an ugly plane. The Germans really didn't. Their twin seats just look like the Focke-Wulf 190 twin seat is probably one of the ugliest things I've seen in a long while.
Yeah, although there wasn't much room in the fuselage to actually sort of, I mean, the 109 is pretty tight just as a single seat, let alone putting another seat in the back.
Yeah, exactly.
Sand barrier news. Gecko Models are releasing a 1/35th scale kit of modern military sand barrier. The kit provides 6 different sizes of gabion. I've got no idea what the heck is going on about that.
I don't know, maybe to do like revetments or something?
Well, maybe.
I think they're like, and I could be wrong, but they might, because it says modern military sand barrier. So like if you've ever seen like what American military bases look like in the Middle East, they have those boxes that are like filled up with sand. And there's like sort of fortifications.
Yeah. I think you might be right there. Yes. Yeah. Especially around British bases as well. So they pull it out and fill it with sand.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, car news. Are you ready, Julian? This will be exciting for you. Italy are releasing an all-new tooling of their 1/12 scale Bugatti Type 35B
Oh, nice.
in December 2022. The kit will feature photo etch parts, rubber tyres, screw fasteners, and faux leather. 2 marking options: a French blue racer from the 1929 Monaco Grand Prix, and a British racing green. Whoa, racing green.
Spaghetti's got to be blue. Spaghetti's got to be blue.
Machine from the 1930 Monaco Grand Prix. It's big, complicated kits that won't be cheap. Prices are going to be ranging from £155 to £170.
Mind you, it's a pretty decent sized kit.
Well,
and you're going to get a
much
lot.
scale, yeah.
And you're going to get a lot in there. And it's a classic looking car.
It is indeed. Military vehicle news. Andy Hobby HQ have announced their 1/16 scale kit of the Tiger 1 early production OS-FE Whitman's command tank, and it doesn't have an interior. Now, listen to our fellow podcast, The Posse, and they actually had Andy on, and it was a really great interview, actually. So don't forget to pop over there and have a listen to that one. But 1/16 scale, I called it 18 months ago. This is going to be the new...
Oh, the new up and coming scale.
The new thing, and it is. Everybody's doing 1/16 scale now.
Yep.
And I've got to say...
It's only the new thing, in my opinion, because everything else has been done. Unless they bring out some new scale, right? It's the only thing with this space that hasn't been filled. When you think about it.
Yep. And, the stuff like what Andy's sort of producing, it's filling a gap or...
A niche.
No, it's not even doing that. It's carving out a new area that sort of hasn't been done properly in the past. Because, previously 1/16 scale, it was remote control stuff, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, the Tomato stuff.
So, and, listen to the guys over there. This kit is an absolute sweetheart. So, pop on over and have a look.
And you could have some fun scratch building your own interior for it if that's an issue.
Oh, geez, man, you'd have to be committed to do that.
I've seen it done.
Someone will bring out an interior for it.
Yeah, but as Andy said in the interview, he said out of all the kits on his store that he sells, the percentage of armour kits that sell with interior is like, 2 or 3% compared to everything else. So economically, it's not viable to...
So, and the problem with doing a full interior on a tank kit, you're not... Even with the hatches open, you're not going to see much.
Yeah, how do you display it?
And if you display it, you've got to take the turret off, which breaks up the lines of the kit.
Yep.
I agree. I mean, I don't know how Zuke Mirror survived with their, cutaway, not even cutaway, that's just, the full sparring and stuff in their kits, because no one cares.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks, oh, that's cool, but they never buy it. They're not willing to put their money for it.
And it's not often you see the interiors of, large scale ship kits or anything like that.
No.
So, people just aren't into that sort of thing.
Yeah. Instead, just use it like a big, your new Tiger, 1/16 scale Tiger as a big cookie jar.
That's an idea for it.
Taken shown box art for their 1/35 scale Mastiff 2, which is a 6x6 wheeled protected patrol vehicle.
You know what? There needs to be an Italian tank in 1/16 scale, and you can put biscotti in there. You can match the sweets that you put inside with the nationality of the vehicle.
Yeah. You put cannolis in there, all sorts of stuff. Yeah. Or better still have the cannolis on the tie down in the back of the tank.
Do you think any housewives would be happy with that, having that on in the kitchen? No.
Oh, sorry, honey. I accidentally dropped it on the floor.
Yes.
And I know we used to have these really nice, little pottery things to put our cookies in, but I just thought this tank would be so much better.
Yes.
Thunder models look like they are really back in business. The 35th scale Morris C9/B with Bofors 40mm anti-aircraft gun will be available in December. Also available in December, a 35th scale British Scammell Pioneer R100 with a 7.2-inch howitzer.
Cool.
Rifle Models will be releasing a 135th Tiger 1 OS FE late production with Zimmerit and full interior. Noted Tiger expert David Burden has taken a look at the CAD renders and has given the exterior a tick. The interior, however, not so much. It uses the interior parts from the previously released mid-production kit, so it contains parts that shouldn't be in the late production Tiger and misses parts that should be. Rifle Models also announced a 35th scale kit of the JLTV, or Joint Light Tactical Vehicle. And David Burden, again, did not give an opinion on this kit. Mini Art have announced a couple of new 35th scale kits. A US tow truck, G506.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
And a Panzer IV OS FH Vomag mid-production July 1943 with interior. Geez, funny, we've just been talking about how interior kits don't sell as much, and bang, bang, there's two announcements with...
Mini Art's always known for doing interiors.
The one and only vehicle kit from Hobby Boss for release in December is a 72nd scale Russian 2S19-M2 self-propelled howitzer. And Vespid Models will soon release a 72nd scale British Centurion Mark 5/1 main battle tank. That's all. Actually, that's the one that can be done for the Aussie one.
Correct.
I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Yes.
That's it all for now. There you go. That's what we have from the Falcon.
I find it interesting that because everything we've been talking about with regards to interior kits, but it must be different in Eastern Europe. I think maybe that must be popular because Mini Art have been doing the interior, version kits for quite some time. There's no way they wouldn't if it was not financially viable, right?
Yeah, very true.
I guess that's true, yeah. Okay, so let's have a quick word from our friend Chris Meddings.
Hey guys, it's Chris here talking about Inside the Armour publications. Great news. Volume 2 of Models for Ukraine is out for pre-order now. The first book raised over £19,000 for the Disasters Emergency Committee Ukraine Appeal, and we hope this book will raise more than £22,000 to add to that total. The book features a number of fantastic artists, including Alex Clark, Calvin Tan, Emilien Diablo, Vance Lubin, Felipe Costa Ramirez, Harvey Lowe, Ian Barraclough, Jean-Bernard André, John Colasante, Jose Brito, Katerina Derbalova, Paolo Portuese, Rene van der Hart, Robert Blocker, Sam Dwyer, and many more. If you'd like to pre-order the book, I suggest you do it as soon as possible because it's already selling very fast. Just go to InsideTheArmour.com where you can pre-order your book and where you can also order any of our fantastic publications on paper or in ebook format.
All right, let's have a chat about celebrating our 150th episode.
Woohoo!
Yay!
We made it to 150.
Woo.
Is this where I cue the song for Tennessee Whiskey?
No.
Gosh, God,
Well, you know what? If you did,
Yep.
for starters, you couldn't monetize it because,
Actually, I'd be in contravention of what's called laws.
Copyright laws.
Copyright, yes.
Yeah, and also, I would rather hear the song than hear you sing the song.
As would everyone else.
Well, how about I just do the instrumental version on my banjo? I'll just dig that out, and I'll do that.
Kindly don't.
Save us from this hell.
Stick to building models, Dave.
Yep.
I like your models.
Gee, thanks very much. Thank you very, very much.
No, thank you for not singing.
All right, so let me see now. So we've done 150 episodes now, and our most popular episode ever was episode 85 with, we talked about what happened to Wingnut Wings. So our most popular episodes have been about a company that went down the tubes.
What's our second most popular one?
Second most popular one was what happened to Wingnut Wings Part 2.
Jeez.
But that was a great episode because we really did a sort of, deep dive in.
Yeah.
And as much as what we didn't know was happening, we got some great information from David, who came on the show.
Yes, that's
if
right.
you remember.
Yeah.
He used to work with Wingnut Wings, and was able to sort of, help sort of, put some lines between the dots we didn't know.
Mm-hmm. And the good and the silver lining out of all this is most of a good chunk of those guys are now employed again with Qatari.
Well, Qatari has come out now and, developing the Spitfire, and who knows what other fantastic things are going to be coming out of that new modelling company.
Yeah.
But if the talent that is there is anything to, as a reflection upon what Wingnut Wings produced back in the day, as an aircraft modeller, you're in for some really exciting models coming out in the future.
Well, you think about, and these guys, the way they do it, they're potentially sitting on a gold mine because you've got the quality and manufacturing and buildability of a wingnut kit.
Yep.
Now, the wingnut kits were First World War kits, which is a pretty niche market. Not everyone is into biplanes.
Yep.
Now going into Second World War aircraft, Spitfire to begin with, they're just printing their own money.
Yep.
And from what I've seen online with the instructions and the kits breakdown and so forth, it is basically a Wingnut Wings kit, but a more modern aircraft.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
See, the way I look at it, Wingnut Wings had to be as technically brilliant as they were in order to do a World War One biplane correctly, as it should be, right? But when you take that expertise and you apply it to a World War Two subject, it becomes like now where rather than it just being, this is what you need to do to bring a World War One biplane up to standard. Instead, this is a World War Two aircraft as it, at the very pinnacle of how well they can be done, right?
Yes. No, I fully agree. Fully agree.
At least that's the concept behind it.
Yeah.
We don't know how well it'll turn out yet. I mean, I'm sure they've got lots of technical hurdles they have to clear between just making the CAD and actually turning it into plastic.
But I've already got mine on order, so
there you
it's
go.
a matter of waiting for it to...
And of course, we've got that trip to New Zealand next year, so we'll hopefully catch up with the Qatari boys and be able to sit down and have a really decent chinwag with them.
Yeah, definitely.
Which would be really cool.
Would be really good, yes, totally agree.
So moving down from our top 10 shows we've had in the last 150 episodes, the next one on the list there was tools.
Tools.
Julian's specialties.
Yeah, everyone loves tools. I'm gonna reach around and give myself a big pat on the back for.
You do that, mate. You go and pat yourself on the back. Go on.
Yeah, there's. I feel like after that episode came out, which was back in 2020.
Yeah.
People have. You do see a lot more sort of push for tools these days, isn't there?
Yeah.
It was.
There's a big market for tools. Like tools are coming out left, right, and centre.
People are starting to realise there's more than just a $2 shop hobby blade and a couple of cheap brushes and that's it.
You don't need to use a bent coat hanger as a pair of tweezers anymore.
Yeah,
there are options,
and the amount of new tools coming out day by day.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And it's just
there's a demand for good quality tools.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Definitely is.
And let's face it, I mean, who doesn't like going and buying a new tool?
Well, me too.
But there are people who don't. People who would go, why would I buy a new a better set of tweezers when my current tweezers already do the job? As for, at least from their perspective, because they don't know what they're missing out on, right? And they feel they could better spend that on a kit instead.
Well, it's their favourite set of tweezers that might be worn down and bent, but they're my favourite tweezers.
Yeah.
I don't want it. So they keep them for sentimental value, like my moccasins I wear.
Oh, gee.
Oh, geez, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying not to focus on your moccasins.
There's nothing wrong with your moccasins. I've had them since I was 16.
The whole reason you brought it up in this conversation is because there is something wrong with them.
They're over 40 years old. They still work.
in any case, like I'm glad that there's like a little tool revolution going on in the modelling industry, and
And the tools we have available to us now to purchase is so much more refined than what was available, 20 years ago. You look at the tools that Display are putting out, for example.
there's so many levels of quality now, so many different price points. Before you just had really good stuff and really crap stuff.
Yeah.
And now there's all the space in between.
I mean, I remember when I first started.
And also, you know what I think is the most important thing is that because there's all this in between, it doesn't seem as much of a leap to buy a good airbrush these days.
True. Well, I'm in that camp now because I've now purchased a really good airbrush, and I can't believe how stupid I was for not getting it earlier on.
Yeah,
and, you're not doing yourself a favour or doing your enjoyment of the hobby a favour by working with tools that are, so-so. It really, getting proper quality tools really affects your build quality and your enjoyment of the build that you're doing.
You know what?
And yes, they might seem expensive, but I'm telling you now, it's a false economy to buy something cheap, thinking that you're saving money than it is to spend the money on the really good stuff.
There's no getting around the fact that you actually are saving money because you're spending less money. But should you spend more money because you're getting more enjoyment out of using them?
And they last you longer too.
And this is a hobby. It's all about enjoyment.
Yeah, 100%.
So you should.
Yep.
I'll tell you what was a game changer for me: buying a good file. Because up until that point, I'd only ever dealt with, you get like a set of 3 or 5 like needle files from like a $2 shop or something like that.
And then you buy a decent one, and
you buy something that's actually flat for starters, and it turns out you can do quite a lot with it.
Well, actually, for me, it was. I know it sounds really silly, but sanding sticks.
Yeah, good standing sticks are nice.
But okay, so here's the thing. So if your hobby is carpentry or woodworking, you're not going to buy crappy tools, are you?
No.
If your hobby is metalworking, you're not going to, or jewellery, you're not going to buy crappy tools. So why, as modelers, do we persist sometimes in going, I'll just buy the cheap ones? Don't do it. Do yourself a favour and get,
hold off on buying that extra kit. Buy yourself some decent tools.
I was talking to the Falcon, and you know what his favourite a tool that really took him by surprise? Because I recommended to him chisels. Mm-hmm. And you think, that's a woodworking tool. What would I need that for in models? I have
very handy.
Yeah, surprisingly handy.
Yep,
and
I've got those as well.
For basic cleanup, it's surprisingly handy.
Yep. That, and also a big surprise for me is the ceramic scraper.
Yeah, that's a beauty.
That is an absolutely sensational tool.
And there's also the curve scraper.
I haven't got one of them.
I've got one. I'm trying to remember what brand it was, but it's basically like the size of a cookie, and it's got all these different sized curves.
Yes, I do have one of them.
Voyager models.
Yeah, that would be so much better for ceramic though, because it's metal. It does that sort of juddering as you sort of scrape it along.
Yeah.
Whereas a ceramic blade, it doesn't jump like a needle in a record as you're going along.
Well, it depends how much pressure you put on it too. Like I find just
we're going down. You realise we're going down a tool rabbit hole. We're just on.
That's cool.
Point 3 of this list.
We've got plenty of time. That's cool. Yeah. I'm just saying, you need to go and get yourself one of those ceramic blades.
Awesome. I tried it and it wasn't for me.
What? Gee, if I had pearls, I'd be clutching them now. What?
I tried it and it wasn't for me. That's it. I'd tell you what I would like. I mean, and I did buy one, but I still haven't used it. I really should try and get like a curved blade so that I can do better scraping, because they're easier for scraping than straight edged.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Blades.
The only problem is with the curved blade, you run a bigger risk of creating a channel.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
that's why you use
ceramic blade.
Ceramic blade.
Flat blade. Yeah.
Now, the number 4th most popular episode is
Our good friend Scott Taylor.
Scott Taylor, who has
interviewed Scott Taylor.
supported the show for so many years as our primary
Sponsor.
Thank you. And he is just, I'm so pleased because Scott is a real success story in the modelling world.
Oh, he's all over the world now, isn't
with
he?
his
Pretty much.
with his range of paints that he sort of brought out.
Taken the Americans by storm lately.
He has all through Europe and everything. Fantastic guy, really down to earth bloke. And what knocks my socks off, even still, as a user of his product, you can just go on the Facebook page and say, blah, 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 with this paint, or I'm having trouble with this. And 9 times out of 10, Scott himself will jump on and say, hey, try this, or do this, do that.
Yep. Very personable.
Yeah. So responsive. And I'm not trying to blow smoke up people's ass by saying it's really good, but damn, his stuff is really good.
Yeah.
His paint is really good. And, a lot of it's, ready to pour from the bottle, but, it's that good.
You can still
I
thin
do.
it.
I do.
Yeah.
I thin at least 50-50 or even 75-25. And you just come in sort of really lightly and just build it up. And it just lends itself to doing that so well. So, yeah, Scott, the man behind the paint.
Yep. Great guy.
He also, and not just paint.
No, he does a lot of tools as well, and innovative tools. And he does the ceramic scraper.
Yep.
So just pop along to SMS and have a look at all the great range of tools he's got. I know I've sounded like an ad, but geez, he's a modeller himself. So
He likes doing his dinosaurs.
yeah, well, he does, yeah. And he loves his sort of Gundam stuff, and that's where he originally started and what sort of, got him off on this road that he's sort of trodden down. And I'm just so proud that he's sort of the way he's kicked goals and,
Oh, definitely.
and got his own sort of...
I've definitely
place up
appreciated
and running.
the sort of extra range in his paint with regards to science fiction subjects and brighter colours, because you just can't get them in and you can't mix into them if you go
And it seems like every second week now he's coming up with a new paint range.
And the car colours he's coming out with too now. The
I'm
car
so
guys
excited.
must
I'm
be doing
so excited over that.
backflips with excitement.
I need to look at what car colours he's coming out with, because as you know, I've gone down the car rabbit hole at recent times.
And
you know
remember
what
those people used to write in saying, "Well, you guys don't do cars."
Look, whoever that was, I think they wrote in after I'd already built quite a few cars. In any case, because I'm in the middle of science fiction subjects at the moment. I was thinking last night I was thinking, I got podcast tomorrow morning, and I haven't done that much modelling in the last week. Should I just start another car? It's stupid. It's I got so many other things I got to get done by June of by next Model Expo.
Yeah.
I was like, well, you're an idiot. Why would I start another car?
Oh, jeez.
Yep.
All right, so coming in number 5, next one down was
Building aircraft.
Building aircraft. Aircraft building is still the biggest modelling vein there is, I'd say.
Number 7 is Armour with Sam Dwyer. I mean, that's both a testament to Sam Dwyer and also how much people, because he wasn't that well known when we did that one. Was he?
Yes.
Wait, that's this year. That's June,
Yeah.
January of this
Sam's
year.
been known for a
January,
long while.
Sam is...
I don't know. I
Old school.
I don't really track these things on a graph. So. But I mean, you can see.
You're not like a foodie where you follow the different chefs, are you?
No, I just show up and eat the food. But yeah, I mean, aircraft is still very popular, and
It always will be. I think
Yeah.
aircraft outsell armour. Armour outsells the
Ships.
rest of the stuff. Ships and
Cars do well.
and Bandai outsells them all.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, Gundam.
Yes.
What'd you say? It was a $1 billion industry in Japan alone.
Now I have to stand corrected on this. I know it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. I think it is around $1 billion in Japan alone. I think that's a correct figure.
That's amazing.
I know. It just goes to show.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's you know how like George Lucas made his millions by selling merchandise, like
That's
action
right.
figures and things for Star Wars,
Yes.
not so much from the actual Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's the same sort of thing. That's what Bandai do. They bring out a TV series, they make a model of it.
Okay, I've just seen a fork in the road, and I've got to go down this fork because you
Yep.
brought up Star Wars. Who has been watching Andor?
Yes.
That series. Oh, my giddy aunt. Is that not one of the best Star Wars series out at the moment?
He's very good. I got to admit, I'm quite enjoying it.
Nice and dark and punchy and, love it.
And occasionally they swear,
They do.
which you'd never ever see in the Star Wars.
And it fits in so well with the movie Rogue One, which even to this day,
it's the main character.
even today, I think is the best Star Wars documentary movie ever produced.
Documentary movie.
Yeah, they're all documentary movies of Star Wars stuff.
Just so it's all real.
Of course it's real. Gosh, hello? Which universe are you in?
Definitely not yours.
But no, it just been I mean, The Mandalorian sort of took my breath away, but it's very cartoony in comparison to what Andor is. Andor is just absolutely sensational, and do yourself a favour, even if you don't like science fiction stuff, you should be checking this one out.
Right.
There you go.
All right.
Sorry
back
about
to
that
it.
little segue, but you opened the door there for me, Julian. Thank you.
So
Sure.
what was number 6? Oh, number 6 was kit manufacturers.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yes.
You know why? Because everyone has an opinion on their favourite manufacturers.
That's right.
Everyone has their brand allegiances and pet hates.
And
Yes.
see, I just wish that I had full music rights, because that would have been the perfect one to do the soundtrack from the movie.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
The good, the bad, and the ugly, yeah. Diddle-oo. Wah, wah, wah.
Oh, stop. Kindly stop. All
You
right.
guys are no fun at all.
I am fun. That's just not my idea of it.
Yes.
See, now Ian's on my side with this. Okay, next up, I don't know how.
Well, it's Sam Dwyer. We're talking about Sam Dwyer. He comes in at about number
Yeah, well, we
6
kind of
there.
already
on the
talked
list.
about
7.
him.
Or
And after
7,
that
yeah.
was our interview with Al Murray.
Oh, that was funny as. Do you remember that? That was so
Yeah.
good. I chased Al for so long to get him on the show, and he received it, and he was going to do it, and he forgot about it. And it's
Yes.
so I had to go through the whole rigmarole again. And I've got to say, these high-end people, and I'm going to classify him as a high-end sort of person, you know, but, dare I say, A-lister, if not B-lister.
A-lister, yep.
They're so hard to get in touch with, because you got to get through the gatekeeper to get to them, which
Yeah.
is, you know, their
Press agents. And,
and all that sort of stuff. Man, it is so hard.
But what a great guy he was to talk to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
An avid modeler,
Yep.
avid World War II, and of course he's got his own show.
Yeah, loves his British armour.
Yes, he does. All things Arnhem, he knows all about. And he's just released a book recently as well.
Oh, he has he?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to check that out.
Definitely. So it was. He was, and it was so funny too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So funny.
Totally agree.
Next up is number 9. Our ninth most popular episode is Musings with Chris Meddings.
Oh God, another pom.
It's good to see that.
And that was earlier this year, this one.
Yeah. It's good to see that. Yeah.
He's become a bit of a regular on the show,
Yeah.
hasn't he?
Chris Meddings is.
Well, hang on. He's
is-
only been on twice now. It's only his second time.
Sure.
Yeah.
I thought it was more than that.
No.
No, it's just because he talks a lot.
Is that what it is? It's just-
We got to keep tabs on this, because there's a mini rivalry between him and
Will.
as to
Oh, yeah. Who's
how many
who's-
times they've sort of
Yeah,
come on the show. So
that's it.
got to keep very close tabs. I mean,
Yes.
I mean, so yeah, number 9, Chris Meddings.
Well, hang on,
It's
what-
great to see how much pull he has, that he was able to pull his people over onto our episode for that one.
Yeah. But Chris Meddings is, you know, one of the gentlemen of the hobby. I mean,
Yeah.
he, even before he sort of had his own podcast and he decided he had his own production company, he'd send us stuff, you know,
That's
just out
right,
of the
yeah.
blue.
That's true.
And it wasn't just a, hey, here's a little small sample or a
Here's
snippet.
here's a model kit.
Here's a full model kit,
Yeah.
and here's all these other stuff. Here, try
Here's
it
a
out,
book.
guys. And here's a couple of books for you to try it. And the postage and that just to get from the UK to here alone
It
was
is
at least
worth-
double the price of stuff he was sending us. So he's always been a fantastic supporter of the hobby. He loves the hobby. He uses the hobby to, at the moment, to help people over in Ukraine through those
Correct.
books he's doing.
And the podcast he's doing
and
as well.
the podcast he's doing as well with the modelers over in Ukraine. And, just an all-round nice guy
Yep.
who should be perhaps on the King's Honours list coming up next year.
Yes. I was just thinking we could call him Sir Chris.
No, well, no. Oh, geez, no. Okay, perhaps that's not a good
Give
idea.
him a peerage.
Sir Meddings.
Sir Meddings.
Yeah, give me a
Yes.
peerage.
Give him a peerage. I would just, mate, he'd be right now. He'd be just sitting there, just shaking his head, going, "Shut up, guys."
Number 10 is Ian sells his stash.
Now I
Well,
can't
some of
believe that this is one of the 10th popular show that we did. Ian selling his stash, and the funny thing is that our listeners have got no pictures of what Ian's place looks like with all models crammed everywhere. You and I know, Julian.
Yeah.
Going in and anything that's got a door in it, if you open it,
There's at least
all
one
these
kit.
models will come cascading down on you.
There's at least a kit hidden away somewhere. Yes. Yeah, it's getting
So-
bad with it. I've actually literally now again run out of storage space. It's now just sitting on the floor
Wow.
because all those kits I sold. Well, I think that space lasted about a month.
Yeah, it's because you see that space and you're like, well, I could fill that with a
Well,
kit.
that's correct. I do. Yes.
And the dangerous thing about you selling your stash was that you had this big pile in your lounge room. So Julie and I rocked round there, and we're getting mates rates for all this stuff that we probably will never build ourselves anyway and buy it off you.
I can't even remember what I bought. What did I buy?
I got that Sky.
I think I...
You bought a MiG 21.
No, what's that? US Navy attack aircraft, the prop one, the last prop one.
Sky Raider.
Sky Raider, and because you got the toilet.
Yeah, the Bren gun toilet bomb set for it.
Yep. So I snaffled that up for a really good price.
And you got the MiG 21.
I did, and a few other things as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a starfighter in there, F-104.
Yeah, F-104 Starfighter.
So it's always dangerous when Ian says, "Oh, I'm selling my stash," and invites you around.
But it's not a very it's a very rare occurrence. Very rare occurrence.
Well, it is, but it's funny because last Model Expo, a couple of us from the club got together and got a couple of tables. I made $1,000. I walked out of there with all the kits that I sold with $1,000 in my hand, cash, which should have helped fund my trip over to the US.
Yep.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, I sold, probably 80% of what I bought, and then proceeded to, I think, pretty much spend most of it at the same show.
The biggest selling kits was the Wingnut Wings kit that walked off the table for $300.
That was fun, actually, selling it at the Swap and Sell. It was interesting how, like...
I was like a barker, and I was going as people were walking past, going 2 for 1, 2 for 1.
yeah. And then towards the end, there was like some guy walked past with his kids, like, here you go, your son can have this kit because I don't want to take it home. Everything must go.
Everything must go.
Now, we both went in there with the same sort of attitude.
We did, yeah.
Except I don't have the gift of the gab for selling things like you do, so I just dropped prices on things. I just went around with my marker and just wrote all the prices several times.
As the herd sort of walks past, and I call it herd, sort of like, The Walking Dead, the herd sort of walks past, I dash out and grab a couple and pull them in. Hey, look, you want to buy this? This is exactly what you're looking for today. And you know what? You got such a good face, I'm going to knock $10 off just for you. Well, you're going to do it. You're going to move your stock, man. You're going to move it.
You do. But no, me selling my stash is a rare occurrence.
Yeah, and then when we were done, we walked around to Ian's table and he still had so much stuff.
I'll tell you what, I'll just help you sell it next time. 'Cause I've got nothing else to sell.
Yeah, but he also didn't want to absolutely sell everything. He still had sentimental,
that's
he
the
wanted to hang
problem.
on to things.
Really? No, you got to be ruthless, man.
Yeah.
You got to be ruthless. Whatever you
But
put.
some of the stuff I just wasn't willing to give away for nothing.
Yes, his attitude was different to ours. Our stuff is like, we don't want these.
Yeah.
We want them gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And his
I
attitude
want
was,
to get rid of them, but I don't want to give them away for free.
Well, that's why you put a higher price on your sticker.
which I did, and then I let people
talk
down. Haggle.
Haggle. Haggling? That's not haggling.
Yes. But I would have been really good if I managed to get rid of me Felix Day, but that didn't happen.
How much do you have on that?
I think it was $500.
How much did you buy it for?
I can't remember. I know it was $200 or $300. I think it cost me. I bought it new, so I didn't buy it second hand.
Yeah,
I know I've seen them going online now for, geez, about $800.
Yeah, I know they're expensive. They really are. Dan, that's one kit you don't want to necessarily
give away.
But you know, if you're getting a couple of hundred above what you bought, hey, you've done well, man.
Well, that's what I was aiming for.
Yeah. Anyway,
definitely.
Well, that's our top 10 for the last 150 episodes.
It's a good sort of encapsulation of like
mixture.
It is
what goes on this podcast, I suppose. Yeah.
And of course, it's all because of the fantastic listeners that we have out there who continue to listen and support us, and also our wonderful Patreon supporters
who we wouldn't be here without.
Absolutely. So, you know, they go towards covering our hosting and production costs, and we need new headphones, actually, because these ones are all starting to perish and the leather's falling off it. So,
yes.
Well, I should say the faux leather.
The faux leather,
I look around the floor and there's little bits of sort of black faux leather.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. So,
wow! You mentioned it on there. It's everywhere. What the hell?
Yeah, I haven't vacuumed it here for a while.
Well, the only time anyone comes in here is, I suppose you use it as an office, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I use it as an office as well for work.
Yeah.
And I'm the only one allowed in here, so no one else comes in. Unless it's Michelle with a cup of coffee in her hand, so she's allowed in when that happens.
That's fair enough.
And of course, you two retrobates. I have you in here every
second week. Yep.
Yeah. But I need I need to get some new headsets because these ones are just slowly dying. We've lasted 5 years. I mean, we're doing the show for 5 years now.
Yeah.
So done quite well.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
And they travelled around a bit with us.
How many? So that's 150 episodes, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
150 episodes, at least. That's almost maybe around 200 hours almost, right?
Oh, no, it'd be more than 200 hours because some of our shows go for 2 hours, some go for... I don't know. I've never really sort of sat and had a look at that.
Is there a way of looking on here to figure out how much time?
It doesn't
tell us the show stats.
No, it doesn't tell us time. But what I can do is... We've got some clever stats here that we can run. No, it won't give me a total time. But what I can tell you is our first episode went to air on the 21st of July in 2017. So next July will be our 7th birthday? 6th birthday. Something like that, yeah. Anyway. Uber cool. All right, gents, I think that brings us pretty close to the end of our show, does it not?
Yeah.
Yes. Don't forget there's some... other fantastic podcasts out there, and you can go and find them by going to www.podcast.com, which will give you
Scale
modelling
podcast. Yes.
Thank you.
That gives you a full list of what is on the list, but I do know there's a few more shows out there that haven't been on the list.
Indeed.
And if any of those guys are listeners, give us a hoy and we'll happily put you on the list.
Yeah, sure, by all means. And don't forget, of course, if you know people who don't yet listen to podcasts, perhaps at your local hobby club or down at your local model shop or something like that, just explain to them how podcast works and sort of share the love around.
Yeah. Bring them to the modern world.
Absolutely, 100%. All right, well, that's it from me. Ian.
That's it for me too, guys. Thanks for listening.
You know what? I'm wondering if I should go home and start a car kit.
Yeah, do so.
I shouldn't. I really shouldn't. But it's in my head now.
Go for it.
But see, the problem is, I got a lot of car kits, but there's none that I actually want to start right now. I think I might have to go buy another new one.
Well, you go by the hobby shop on the way home.
Well, I will leave.
I'm not going to do that. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. It's actually dangerous.
Well, yesterday, as I said, I took Michelle out to see a show about artists. It's at the Loom here in Melbourne, Victoria. and had all the great impressionist artists. And I will leave you with a bastardised quote from Monet, who said that painting is all about the light.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I'll drop that there. Mic drop. See you later. We'll be back in a fortnight. Have a great time modelling, and I'll see you then.